Hello and welcome to part 2 of my video. I titled my first one, Do You Love to Fussy Cut? So we're going to call this part 2 of Do You Love to Fussy Cut? I hope that you do. I decided that I definitely needed to be closer to show you what I was doing when I was talking about the cutting of the different things. And I also need to sharpen my pencil, first of all. I need to go in there and draw a line underneath the writing so that I can get a better idea of the little niches that I still need to cut out. Now, in part 1 of this video, I advised of cutting out these kind of sections right here before cutting out the main piece, only because then you have more paper to hold on to. Well, what I actually should have done is to draw my line underneath here. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. So this is my baseline still that I'm bringing back, because what I need to still do is cut out. That one is not big enough, not long enough, I should say. I still need to cut out these little sections right here. And that's something else that I'm looking at now in hindsight that I should have done also before I cut the big piece out, did the big cutting. Now, what did I just do with my X-Acto knife? It was here a moment ago. Did it roll off my table? No. Okay. This is a mystery. Hang on. I'm going to pause this while I look for my X-Acto knife. Okay, I found it. It had rolled off. Okay, so, oops. And I need to do it here, too. I need to continue this line right here. Okay, so as you can see, I need to cut out right here. So I'm going to be super careful, guys, because, like I said, I do not want to rip this at all. But in order for it to have that connection to that line, I need to do this little fussy cutting with the X-Acto knife. And actually, it's not that hard, having the fact that I've already cut that other part out. I did, off camera a little bit, start to erase my pencil, and then I thought, no, I'm going to save that for the video, because once again, just like the cutting, makes it very iffy as far as holding onto this paper and not letting anything rip. So the pencil part is very tricky also, or I should say erasing of the pencil part. This particular paper that I'm using, I love to go to estate sales, and most especially estate sales from artists. And as I discovered, or you may know, that I live in Red Rock, Arizona, but that is very close to Tucson, Arizona. I live 32 miles northwest of Tucson. And so I have to go to Tucson. Well, I can go to Marana, a little bit closer town, but in order to do any big shopping, grocery shopping, Costco, Sam's, those kind of things, I have to drive into Tucson to do. So now I'm just kind of doing a bit of the fine trimming. I like corners, I should say, corner cutting instead of it being a rounded, like the tops of these. I like to cut straight line. I don't like it to be rounded. And you may like it rounded. You could do it however you like. It's the beauty of this stuff, right? It's the beauty of art. You do what you want to do. As I said in my previous video. Okay. So this part right here, I still need to do. This is kind of a big part, so I was kind of saving it for last. Just because it's so hard to do those peaks and valleys. Or at least I feel like they're very hard. You might not think they're hard. Oops, I'm kind of off camera on that, aren't I? Like I said, I tried to do a closer camera shot this time because that way you could get a better look. I went back and watched part 1 and thought, I think I need to be closer. Also thinking that I just might, if I don't if I feel like the pencil is still too, you can see the pencil once I'm done, then I think I'm going to actually ink this, or put spray ink on it in a darker color so you can't see the pencils, because that will bug me. But I used a very light, as I stated in the first video, I used a very light pencil when it came to the heaviness of the lead, I guess, or however dark or thick or hard, or I don't know what the proper art term is for pencil lead. But oops. Oh, I started to tell you about the paper. So the paper, I bought it in an estate sale, an artist estate sale. And I bought it like in a package. So it definitely has a texture to it. It is definitely an art paper. And it's definitely not for watercoloring. It's probably more like for ink, pen and ink, or maybe even sketching paper. So I think that's why my pencil looks so dark on it, even though I didn't use a really dark pencil. It's like getting in the groove of the, seeing, I should have drawn a line across here and then just cut this little hole out right here, but I didn't do that, so it's all right. You know what? It's all right. It's going to look as lovely as I want it to look anyway. I think it's still going to be, it's not going to take away from the beauty of it to me. I would love to hear from you. I would love to see comments on this video, or in the part 1 video, to see how many of you are going to give this a try. It's really quite fun. Like I said, if you enjoy fussy cutting, to me this is just like fussy cutting. So I use my X-Acto knife for fussy cutting all the time, because it is just the greatest little tool. Oh, another thing I wanted to say is, so the book, I know in my first video, I keep going back to my first video, I said in my first video that I was having trouble finding that book. And let me clarify that I meant finding it at a used bookstore, or a site that sells used books. But I did find it. I Googled it today while I was at, I'm on my lunch break right now, but as I was sitting at my desk, I Googled it, and Amazon has it. New copies. So new It's about $16 plus dollars. I think it was like $16.88, and that didn't include tax, of course, or shipping, depending on, you know, if you have Prime, Amazon Prime or not. But they have it. They have it in stock. And then I also saw a listing where somebody was selling it used on Walmart website. It's like, wow, okay. So anyway, I didn't pay, I think it was $9.99 used. I think I bought it from, I was in Dallas, where I'm from, and I was shopping at Half Price Books. I know if you are from Dallas or in Dallas, or even I think they have them in Houston too. I think they're, you know, a big chain in Texas for used books. Here in Tucson, we have the chain that's called Bookman's. I have looked at it. I've looked for it at Bookman's whenever I go in there. I always look, but I haven't seen it, so oops. Okay. So this, let's go this way. I hope y'all don't find this too annoying, me just showing you how I'm cutting. But as you can see, the midnight definitely has emerged, right? Look at that. Isn't that cool? I'm almost done. I'm listening to my old music I've had on my iPad forever. I used to have, well, I still do, tons of CDs. But over the years, I've gone back and purchased, oops, did I cut that too short? What is that right there? Oh, it's kind of thin right there. I cut into that somehow. I'm not going to tear it off because then it'll be too thin and it might tear. Anyway, you know, I grew up in the era of CDs. So I had lots of CDs. And I've just slowly, probably over the past 5-6 years, because, you know, CDs are now pretty scarce. Not scarce. What's the word I'm looking for? They don't. I know they still have them, but I don't buy them anymore. I prefer to buy just the few songs that I may like on the CD from iTunes. Because even though iTunes is not the cheapest thing, it's cheaper than me buying the whole CD when I don't want every song on the CD in my playlist. So, I've slowly been buying my favorite songs off my CDs. Oops. Once you get the hang of this, it's really easy. I find it easy. I think I've said that already. Oh, correct me if I say things over and over again. I try not to, but, you know, it's kind of hard until you are watching back your video and going, oh, wow, I said that like 4 or 5 times. I'm not fancy. I don't know how to edit videos, or I can cut out stuff that that I'm saying, that I'm repeating of myself. Ooh, almost done, guys. Almost done. This is going to be so exciting. Then I'm going to take time and I'm going to try to erase as much pencil as I can. And like I said before, if it turns out that it's just still too visible for my taste, I'm going to spray this in a different color. I don't know what color. I'll use my Tim Holtz Distress ink. And, okay, I think this is the last little... Like I said before, too, I've done this in just straight, not cursive, I should say, in print. But I like my handwriting, so I enjoy doing stuff in my handwriting. So there it is. Look at that. That's even thinner than I thought it was going to be, but I still like it. Still love it, I should say. I do love it. Okay, so let's try. It's going to be tricky, but I'm going to try to erase this pencil. But I can tell you right now, I cannot press hard enough to make it completely disappear. Because if I do, this paper, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's like sketch paper or drawing paper, so it's not very thick. So it's pretty fragile right now. And I don't want to take a chance, and I'm going to rip it. See, look right there. I'm almost, I don't know if you can see that, but that's just barely hanging on by a thread. So I'm not going to mess with that anymore. I'm not going to mess with that. So I'm going to go over here, move to the next letter, and see if I can. I wonder if I should be doing this with my pencil. Yeah, I might be able to better control. Because I think even if I spray it, and it depends on what color I spray it with, it's going to still be, I think you're still going to be able to see that pencil. So I definitely am regretting using the pencil lead that I used on this paper. Like I said, I think it's the fact that it's the paper that I'm using. And by all means, if you have a better suggestion as to a better way to do this, to maybe, this has got little points that I don't like. I like it to look nice and flowy is the word I used earlier. Actually, this would have been not so fragile right here if I had kept those two connected, but I didn't really, when I did my A, I didn't go all the way down to that line, which I should have. And that's you know, something else that you just pay attention to when you are. Oh, see, I just ripped that. Yeah. Okay. Well, once I glue it down on the paper, you won't be able to tell that it's torn. But still, you know, it's one of those things that, well, I know it's torn, so that bugs me. But I'm moving on. I'm not going to fret about it. Just trying to try to erase as much pencil as I can so that when I do spray it, of course, you know, if it still bleeds through and I don't like that, then I'll just use a darker spray. But that's going to be the best way to cover it, is going to be with the spray. Can't paint it, really. It's just too, I mean, I guess I could watercolor paint it. But I think because of the, because of the fragile, the fact that the paper is so thin that it will, you know, take up the water and become very absorb the water and kind of maybe, I don't know what word I'm looking for, ladies. So I'm not even I'm gonna quit trying to think of what I'm trying to say. Warp it. It'll start to warp, and you know, then it won't look all nice and flat. It'll give it a different texture because it's been wet. Okay, oops, let's see. That kind of looks wider than I want it to right there. Get closer to that line that I have drawn and erased already. There. Yeah. See? Okay, Midnight. I really don't think that you're going to be any easier to get this pencil off with. I would definitely recommend some, thicker paper next time, ladies. But I like to use. I like to reuse. That's why I like to go to estate sales and buy artist paper or books or magazines or all kinds of ephemera that I can use. And, I don't want to waste it. Don't want it to go in the trash bin. There's just so much paper out there. Junk mail. I'm a junk journaler, art journaler, mixed media artist. I use fabric too. Never tried. I hadn't thought about doing this with fabric. I think it would be just too difficult. I mean, I could do thicker letters, obviously, but I like that. I like that this is so whispery and whimsical. And I just don't know if I'd get that same feel from a fabric. If anybody uses anything else, you can share it with me. I'd love it. That G looks kind of thicker than the other letters to me. I didn't really cut that close to the line, so I'm gonna kind of trim that up a little bit, and with the bottom too. See, that just looks more. Okay. Right there. That's where it needs to, be a little thinner. Okay. So what do you think about the eyes? The letter I. Notice how I didn't, that's don't the X-Acto knife there. I didn't put the eyes, the dots of the eyes. So definitely tell me what you think about that. Can you tell? Does it make a difference? I think you still know what it says, right? Even though I didn't dot my I. Because I guess I could put it on there later on once I glue it down. I could add some little circles there for the dots of the eyes. Yeah, I could do that. So I'm not real concerned that I didn't add that to the cut, because to me that would be like really hard. So tell me in the comments too what you're up to, what you're working on, what's inspiring you. What's inspiring you these days to create? Are you a mixed media artist? Do you enjoy the paper arts? I'd love to learn more about the people who are watching my videos. Early night. Okay. See, it broke right there too. Can y'all see that? It broke there. But this is all going to be just fine, because I'm going to glue it down. And That looks really skinny right there, but kind of chunky down here. So I'm going to trim that just, and you can see, I mean, we're talking a hair. I trimmed it a hair. Don't ask me why I felt the need to do that, but I did. And I really want to make this more prominent here. This little, I wish I knew the official words to use when I'm talking about the serifs. No, I don't have serifs on this, so that's not what I'm trying to say. There. Just trying to make that D a little more defined. I think I'm going to spray it with I was thinking about sepia. Or not sepia. What's it called? Vintage photo? Or walnut. Ooh, what about walnut stain? Because that's almost black, but not quite black. And I may even have the new color. I can't remember if I have it or not. Scorched timber. We'll see. Yeah, I don't want to turn that. Don't want to. Excuse me if y'all can hear my dog snoring over there. He's got sinus issues. Okay. Oh, let me finish trying one more. I was over here on the M. Kind of feel like I'm smearing the pencil, not really erasing it. That I had already accidentally cut right there, but it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna get glued down and you won't even notice that I cut that little piece right there by accident. Oh, sorry. I'm doing that off camera. Didn't mean to do that. Working on that M there, trying to make it more. Actually, I think I'm gonna shorten this. There we go. So definitely looks more loopy at this point. Okay, so I think I'm done with that. Now I'm gonna spread out a little there. Move that in a little. Sorry, I didn't mean to. My little thing does not want to tighten up. I think my lamp is getting kind of loose. Okay, so now let me get my thing out here. Forgot what you call this thing. But since I'm going to be spraying, I don't want to get all over my desk. And we are, goes almost all the way across. There you go. Can you see it now? There we go. Excellent. Okay. So I think what am I going to do? I think I'm going to do the walnut ink. Yeah, walnut stain. No, it's not dark enough. I want something darker. Vintage photo is not dark enough. What's this right here? It's scorched timber. Let's see. It's pretty dark. To me, it reminds me of hot chocolate. Yeah, when I go to glue that down, I'm definitely going to have to be sure I line that up where it's supposed to be. So there we go. What do you guys think? Do you like it? No? Yes? God. I don't want to spray it all over my desk. could have got a box, but it didn't. What I like about this is now I wish I had done it on paper instead of my okay, come on. Instead of my mat here, because I'm going to show you something. I can see it before I even... There we go. Now I don't have to worry about the pencil. Being able to see the pencil marks. And I like this color. Oops. Just need to get top of that H there. I'm a bad aimer, aren't I? There it goes. Okay. I think I got the majority of it. There's a couple places in there that are... That's alright. We will survive. Okay. So, I don't know about you, but when I'm messing with the stress, not while I'm spraying it, I don't wear my glove. But after I've sprayed it, and I'm going to be touching it, but look, oh, I messed it up. I was hoping it showed the negative there. Oh, my goodness. So, I love it. I love it. Excellent. Okay, I don't want to rip it. There are parts that are already. It's all right. Once it dries, it's still connected. That's just that M part that I knew I had already cut. And the Paris part that I knew I already cut. So let's put it over there to dry. Look, so you can almost see Midnight in Paris. So that's a cool thing. I mean, you could use it as a stencil. I love that. I love the thought of using it for other styles of art. Using it as a stencil would be such a cool thing. Okay, so what? I'm trying to figure out my M here, what I did with it. I kind of twisted it up, but you know what? Once it dries and I'm gluing it down, I'll be able to glue it down exactly like it should be. Oh yeah, I really like that. I like the way that looks. That looks very Art Deco. Thank you, Joanna, for correcting yourself. Art Deco-ish looking. Really not sure what angle I'm going to go with once I do make my collage. Like I said, I was very inspired last night by Midnight in Paris to make this art journal entry into my next journal. But that might be it. Okay, so that is video number 2, guys. We're sitting at 33 minutes. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to let this dry. And then when we come back for part 3, I'll start working on the collage that I'm going to use it in. Okay? So hope everyone has a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.